With me now is former Arkansas Governor Mike Huckabee. Sir, welcome to the program. Good to see you. Look, this is fascinating to me, Governor, because all of us looked at the plea deal on paper and said, oh, what a sweetheart deal. But the real truth is, which we found out yesterday, it was an even sweeter deal than we thought because of the grand sweeping immunity. What did you make of what played out yesterday?
Well, this whole deal was often referred to as a slap on the wrist. It wasn't that, Brian. It was a kiss on the wrist. This was the mushiest deal I've ever seen, and people recognized it. And it appeared that the prosecution and the defense sat together, had a nice dinner, and said, what can we do to just make this go away so that Hunter Biden doesn't get treated like anybody else? The judge looked at it and said, my gosh, this smells worse than a chicken house in Arkansas in the middle of August. Now, she didn't exactly say that, but that's how bad it stunk. So the fact is, this was a very significant moment in this entire process. And I think what Nancy Mace just said a moment ago, justice is coming for you. I think that's true. And I hope Republicans are patient and methodical because, Brian, the biggest mistake they could make is to rush into an impeachment. They need to let this play out because it will play out. It will dribble out. And when it does, then even Democrats and the media will not be able to ignore what is in front of them. But if the Republicans rush to an impeachment very quickly, then they can just throw up their hands and say, you just wanted to impeach Joe Biden. This is a political move. Don't let that happen. Take your time. There's no rush.
All right, let's go to the impeachment because there's a ton of talk about that. Speaker McCarthy was talking about that this afternoon, and he said it's an impeachment inquiry. We're not talking about impeachment. We're talking about the inquiry. Now, I think over the last several years, a lot of Americans got tired of hearing about impeachment because of the way it was used against former President Trump. You're saying don't rush into it, but what do you make of this idea of the impeachment inquiry that would give Congress essentially its highest power to investigate what's going on?
I think that's exactly the right course for Kevin McCarthy to take. I thought it was wise of him to do it that way, not saying we're going to begin impeachment proceedings. That would be foolish and premature. To say an impeachment inquiry, and I would get rid of the word impeachment as often as possible and say it will be an impeachment inquiry, but don't necessarily call it that. Just say we are looking into this just mountain of evidence that keeps coming right in front of us, and we will simply let it go where it needs to go. That's what has to happen.
Yeah, and I want to talk about the evidence. It was interesting. House Ways and Means Committee Chairman Jason Smith, he's obviously been a huge part of this from the beginning, this investigation of Hunter Biden and the IRS and some of the stonewalling. Listen to what he had to say regarding the future of the investigation of Hunter Biden. Listen.
We got a lot of information to continue to look at. There's several individuals that need to come before our three committees. We've asked for 13. However, the president's administration is blocking that, and we're going to have to find a way to get them in so we can get some answers to questions that we have.
So, Governor, you talk about the impeachment inquiry and getting some answers, but you've got Congressman Jason Smith saying the administration is slow walking this, standing in the way. Even if you get the inquiry, if the administration is dead set against it, is this just a rock and a hard place situation? Do we get anywhere?
Well, we do, and it's going to be done really death of a thousand cuts, or call it the Chinese drip strategy. Don't try to waterfall this. Look at this as the walls of Jericho. Yeah, you're getting stonewalled by the Justice Department and the FBI and the Biden administration. They're all doing everything they can to protect themselves. But over time, you may have to walk around the walls 7 times and then blow the trumpet. But by golly, stick with it. Be persevering. And that's what's going to win this. I continue to say the big mistake would be to try to rush it, because then Democrats and the press will say, it's all political. They're just trying to gin it up for the 2024 election. Just simply be very methodical. Don't be overly emotional about it. Keep some of the more hot-tempered House members cool down a little bit. But just keep doing what you see Jim Jordan doing, Jason Smith doing, Jim Comer doing. They're doing it the right way, piece by piece by piece. And when it gets there, then the press can't ignore it, and neither can the Democrats. And we'll have a situation more like it was in Watergate, where even Republicans decided there has to be an action taken.
Governor, I think you gave us the only Walls of Jericho reference that there will be on television this day. I knew I could count on you. Governor Mike Huckabee, thanks for being with us. We appreciate it.